Welcome back to Free Speech Nation. Now, Channel 4's latest documentary, 1,000 Men and Me, the Bonnie Blue story, shines a spotlight on one of Britain's most extreme adult stars, famous for a stunt claiming she slept with over 1,000 men in just 12 hours. Since the documentary aired, she has featured in a range of media interviews. Some have criticised giving the adult star a platform, including our very own GBNews presenter, Michelle Dewberry, labelling the move gross, expressing concerns on the influence this might have on young people in society. So, should Bonnie Blue be platformed? We are joined now by the Vicar at Christchurch, New Malden, Stephen Kurt, and OnlyFans star, Kayleigh Evelyn. Welcome to the show. So, let's start now with you, Stephen.
Yep.
Do you... I don't want to even say if you watched the documentary or not.
I watched it last night.
Oh, you did watch the documentary?
My preparation for being on this.
OK, well, OK, that's very honest of you. And just read his research, honey. It was research. Well, first of all, did you find the documentary interesting?
I found it really tragic, actually. I found it very, very sad because I think, if it's to be believed, the huge amount of money and the fame and the sort of notoriety and the exhilaration of that. But I don't think that is healthy or helpful, either for Bonnie Blue herself. I'm really concerned for her, but also for the people that are being influenced as well, particularly young people. There was a very disturbing scene in a school later on. And I think we've just got to... freedom is a wonderful thing to have. We live in a country where we've got a lot of freedom, but we've got to use it so responsibly. And that would be my unhappiness, really, with I think my problem with the documentary was it was so uncritical as well. There were no interviews with people who might be offering a position on the effect on Bonnie Blue herself, perhaps later on in her life. There were no interviews with the amount of men. Allegedly 1,053 men had sex with her on this particular day. And interviews with those people and them giving their sort of take, I think would have shed more light. So I was uncomfortable, particularly the way Channel 4 approached the programme.
Kayleigh, there's a difference between the acts themselves and also just this kind of the furore, the media furore that surrounds it. Do you think if it was done in a private or in a less... Do you think there's an issue with either of those two, or do you think that she deserves all the publicity and it should be shown out there?
I don't think she should be getting all the publicity that she's getting, because then young people watching are more likely to watch it, and then they might grow up wanting to break the Guinness World Records for sleeping with more people than what she's legitimising
this as a thing to do.
Yeah, and I think the media glamorises how much people make on OnlyFans, because I've been in the top 1% and I've never made millions.
No, me too.
Yeah, me too. We should collab. No, I don't collab, really.
OK, I don't even know what collab means.
So that's when you actually sleep with someone.
OK, well...
Have you had a random call lately from a strange number, maybe trying to sell you something or even scam you? If so, your info could be out there. That's because of data brokers, shady companies that scrape the internet for your personal details and sell them to marketers or even scammers. These days, scammers can even use AI to mimic your friends' voices and trick you into sending money. It's not just annoying. Data brokers often target vulnerable people with high-interest loans or sketchy offers. But there is a solution. Incogni, the sponsor of this video. Incogni contacts data brokers on your behalf and requests your info be deleted from their databases. And because your data can keep popping up, Incogni keeps sending removal requests to make sure it stays gone. They've just launched a new unlimited plan with custom removals. If you find your info on a weird website, just send them the link and their privacy team will work to get it taken down. Getting started is easy. Hit the link in the description, create your account and let Incogni handle the rest. It's risk-free for 30 days and you'll get 60% off an annual plan with the code GBNews. Take back control of your data with Incogni.
But because it's not, and I realise that there is some hypocrisy even just talking about this, because it's sort of, in a way, it's sort of platforming her one step removed. But this idea about whether this is held up, whether this has real world consequences by featuring her, exposing her, certainly uncritically, like you're saying, Stephen, but do you think that this is just everybody just trying to, knowing that just to mention her name would be enough to bring in viewing figures and exploit her further again?
Yeah, it's clickbait. So I've been used as clickbait before because I went viral for like doing OnlyFans and quitting social work. But then I've been used as clickbait by everybody on the internet, and I've had a lot of hate sent for me. And at the end of the day, she's still a person behind that. So we're all talking about it because it's a hot subject right now and it's got everybody listening and tuning in and stuff. But she's still just like one person with mental health. She probably needs someone to step forward, you know, like, and help her. Like, that's a massive cry for help, sleeping with more than 1,000 people in 12 hours. But yet everyone just wants to jump on the judging bandwagon because that's what everyone does.
Well, you say it as a cry
like
for
the
help.
sheep.
Obviously, people in her family, even her parents, are supposedly supportive and arguably exploiting her and this money
Encouraging it for money.
that she's making. Do you think that if this documentary you'd watched it had been more critical and more judgmental in a way, that would be slightly different?
Well, certainly not judgmental. I don't think we should ever be judgmental.
I do.
I think we're dealing with human beings who we must always treat with real care. It doesn't mean we don't make judgments on issues, but judgmental implies we're condemning those people. And I want to be very, very careful about doing that. But at the centre of it is someone who, however much money is being made, and as I say, however much fame is being accrued, I just cannot believe that it's not hugely damaging for her and for the people that are being sort of influenced by. And of course, you know, there's terrible exploitation taking place, which wasn't really held to account in that documentary. As I say, the vast amount of men who were sort of, perhaps, you know, it was willingly being accepted, but the amount of men that were exploiting her and other people in similar situations, they weren't really being held to account at all. And, you know, I think that's needed.
I think it's more just the fact of giving this further publicity that people are taking this issue with her appearing on different podcasts, appearing on these different shows. Do you think there are then real-world ramifications that somehow validates what she does, or do you think she's almost like a cautionary tale? It might be that people see her and see what she's done and actually are turned away from it.
I think it validates like what she's doing because, like, as a qualified social worker, I was making no money at all, and then the media kept publicising Rebecca Goodwin, and that inspired me to like start doing that sort of thing. Do you know, like years later down the line, when I had loads of people dropped into my TikTok rooms and I was encouraged to do like sexualised things, I just went along with it, thinking, oh well, I could be a star like Rebecca Goodwin, and I could be making millions, and I could be living a blessed life, and I'll never have to work a day in my life. And like,
do you think you were sold a lie then?
Yeah, definitely. Because I've been in the top 1%, and I had to lend a tenner to buy necessities yesterday.
So I think it's so important that those stories are told, where people say, well, I was spun this, you know, it seemed very, very attractive. I mean, even if people are relatively successful, I believe they are being sold a lie, that the way to fulfilment is by sort of treating themselves as a commodity. And I suppose that would be the really crucial thing for me. People aren't commodities.
It's really difficult because it's that empowering thing as a female, do you know, like, because the world is made for men. So, like, as a female, when you're born into, like, a lesser position. You're going to have, like, you could work the same job as a man in a really, like, high-paid job, but you're going to come out with less. But when you start using your body to make money, then you're taking ownership of your body back.
So, in a way, but then that sort of seems more supportive of Bonnie Blue and what she's doing.
No, because I think she's doing it really bad. So, like, I've done OnlyFans for a couple of years. I've had, like, a 6 months break in between.
What do you think the difference is between what you do and what she does, though?
I've not had sex with anyone.
OK. So.
Like, at all. Like, I've been completely celibate for the last 3 years. But I just, like, people are going to buy that content online, so I may as well make some money off it.
But it's still selling sex, or...
It's just me, though. Like, everybody masturbates. I just get paid for it.
OK, but it's still... fair enough, lucky you. But the point is, it's still in the same ballpark. It's still... It's about degrees, isn't it?
No, because I've got a lot more respect for my body. Like I don't know.
But you could see how someone would put you together. Obviously, there's a huge spectrum here, but still people would say that, you know, allowing yourself to be used by the male gaze and taking money for it is being put in the same category, at least?
I was in like a psychosis when I first started doing it. Do you know, like I didn't actually fully realise what I was doing. I didn't think about things fully. I was like exposing myself on TikTok Live without thinking about it.
But then that almost makes it worse that we're encouraging that through like showcasing somebody like Bonnie Blue. I mean, I want to ask Stephen, I mean, do you think that the people who are interviewing her are complicit in kind of what she does? Because, of course, the more publicity she gets, the more exposure, the more money, and
I think that's the danger. I mean, you regularly hear on all shows, including GBNews, well, you know, even by covering this, we're sort of giving it the oxygen of publicity. I think there's always that trap. Some of the interviews with her actually have been really searching. There's been some interviews done which ask all the right sort of questions. And you
really researched this.
Well, I wanted to make sure I didn't appear on this this evening. I mean, it's really easy for Christians come over as judgmental and ill-informed. So I did want to make sure I knew what I was talking about to some degree. But I think, I think the really important thing is, like in this discussion this evening, that we're asking the really searching questions about it and not just sort of giving people an opportunity to sort of present things without tough questions being asked. Because that's what young people, but not just young people, everyone needs to see. They need to see really searching questions being asked of things to make sure that the glamorisation is put under proper scrutiny. Because if you can earn a load of money or be promised that you can earn a load of money really quickly, if you can become famous really quickly, that's very, very seductive. That's very, very attractive. But it doesn't deliver, I would say, ultimately ever on what it promises.
See, I made a lot of money quick, but then I got cancelled by the same people. And I did annoy them, and I was rude, you know, and I blamed them for other stuff. Like, I started, like, losing my mind and blaming... Because you talked about exploiting, like, people exploiting her. She's making them conscious decisions. She's hiring bouncers, she's hiring spaces, she's wanting thousands of people to come and do it, like, have sex with her at the same time. So how can... Do you know, like, people talk about her being exploited, so people talked about me being exploited, then I started believing I was exploited and I started pointing the fingers at the wrong people.
I guess the other thing is, of course, people, even watching these documentaries, whether we're partly being exploiting her as well. Anyway, look, thank you very much for joining us. Please, Reverend Stephen Kurt and OnlyFans star.